this week, lest you forget.
Fisted wide, all Eagles. Malaxos. Lewis does the shepherding work, keeping Bradley out. Towards Turley over centre wing. Craig Turley looking to go on with it. A left foot pass to David Hart, who's got Barrich wide. Barrich inside 50. He shoots in towards full forward. Going across the face of goal, and a good mark taken by Satori, who gives it to McKenzie. Just gets his kick in time. Down towards Herman on the half-back flank. Herman back again to McKenzie. Towards centre wing, Craig Bradley. But first to it, Carl Langdon. Langdon's hurried kick goes over the line on the full. And Alex Jesselenko looking a little dazed, shell-shocked and concerned.
As Peter Satori's now at full-back on Jackson and Dorotich at centre-half forward.
Ian Herman to half-forward. Double-fisted spoil, puts it down in front of Barrich. Tried to give it on to Turner, who was well claimed, but Mainwaring lends support. Down towards Troy Ugle. He's got to beat two of them. Three, actually. And by gee, he's doing a darn good job. Alvin eventually gets the kick. Rance and Kernahan over the line. So a throw-in on the outer side of the ground. We've got just under 13.5 minutes remaining. And Andrew McNish would be well pleased.
Managing a smile. Nicely done to the back of the pack by Madden. Upended was McKinnon. Coming away as Barrich out of midair. There's the time. Worsfold's got the ball. Two runners inside, if you don't mind. Turley can run inside 50 and kick on goal. Steadies from 40 metres out, has missed. Well, should have done far better there, really. No one came to meet him.
That's the point there, Dennis. I think which is more pertinent. Jackson could have turned very quickly from Satori and received a short pass.
As it was, the lead increases by 125 to 70. Oh, Miles over the top of McKinnon. Satori went the short pass. I think if he had his time over again, he'd do something different. Miles almost smiling there, but you're not supposed to do that when you're out there playing footy.
Says who, Dennis?
Obviously Jeff Miles. He kicks from 45 metres. Another one.
Last year, every Formula One Grand Prix was won on Goodyear tyres. This year, the most advanced performance tyres for the road carry the same name. Goodyear, we're racing to bring you a better tyre.
Jeff Miles has 4 goals and the lead out to 61 points now. The Eagles finishing into the breeze, but it's making no difference, and the ledger, it seems, has been restored. You can write it into the book already for next season. The Eagles at home are going to be tough again as the ball goes down inside the 50. Dennis slaps it towards the pocket. Langdon's got the run of it. Dennis goes after him, and it's out of bounds and will be thrown in. Again, the clouds have rolled in. It's overcast at Subiaco Oval, and I think in the next hour there's going to be more rain. Things bleak enough for Carlton. Hart, hurried kick, concedes ground. Rance comes through and punches it out of bounds, closer to Carlton's goal. I think he was looking at the scoreboard. He's enjoying it a lot. Kernahan and Scott. Langdon scrambles it forward by some 10 metres. Mainwaring, his stats will read well again tonight. Upended as he hand passes and the ball spills out of bounds. So the Eagles rarely challenged in this game. Got out to lead early and have simply gone about increasing that lead. One down by Madden. Bradley sold into deep trouble. There's the time remaining. Gleason, he's gone out of the game. Worsfold emerges with the ball. Not a good hand pass, made it difficult. Rance gets the hand pass away though as he sprawled. Worsfold off the ground cleverly into the path of Turner. Turner forward of centre wing, goes down towards half forward. Leading back in the race is SUMICH. Reece Jones has got it. Ugle's got him. Jackson the spills, hard up against the boundary line. Oh, well done by the big fellow. Gives it to SUMICH. The tandem in operation again. Miles.
Well, very unselfish play there by SUMICH. Great play by Jackson, but excellent play on the wing by Barrage to get that ball free. He committed himself, the handball coming backward to him. Beat a couple of opponents. Miles a chance for number 5.
Jeff Miles, one of the leaders of this team, steers it through.
Well, that'll make him very confident tomorrow night, and he's as fine master for the Eagles. He'll be finding all the other players because he's kicked the most goals so far. And he'll be very confident, give the players another option up forward, showing John Todd he does have the ability to play forward, not just as a backman. But good unselfish play here by SUMICH. Had a good run at goal. Not on the best side for a left footer. Centered the ball nicely to Miles.
So the Eagles continue to pour it on. Kicking into the breeze, and you would never know it. Matthews, a short kick straight to Langdon, who rebounds with a sweeping hand pass out wide. Here they go again. MAINWARING on to WORSFOLD. WORSFOLD with the left foot in towards half forward. Ugle waiting down in front. Ugle flicks it high over his shoulder. The kick looks pretty good. Just a little too far, and one behind.
Interesting loss of these centre bounce downs. Langdon just hanging across that line, and really the number of times he's got first use of the ball after a centre bounce.
Yes, it's worked well for them, Dennis.
McKenzie. Flat looking kick that drops short. Hart is able to get it across to Barrage. Barrage floats one in towards full forward. Over the top it goes. And the fat lady in the stand is singing her heart out.
Wednesday on Hey Dad, it's crisis at the Kellys.
You told me if there was ever an emergency that I could come right over.
An emergency? Betty, what's happened?
I wet my bed.
Then wedding preparations on Acropolis now.
Please, Elizabeth, this is Greek man's business.
The boys organise the Bucks night.
It's not on. It's not on.
And guess who sorts out the shower tea?
He's a stripper and he's waiting outside.
Wogs out of work, now with their own TV show.
No, me, I'm Greek.
Hey Dad and Acropolis now, Wednesday on 7.
Back in the middle once again, and it's Worsfold who pumps the Eagles down towards half forward, but Gleeson takes it from Hawker and then regains it. Adrian Gleeson kicks high towards half forward, and a good mark taken for Carlton by Simon Verbeek. He's booted 3 goals to be the Blues' main contributor. Will kick from inside 50. Simon Verbeek going for number 4. In fact, only a short run up just outside 50. Kicks it high, but drifts it to the left. And one behind. Carlton, kicking with the breeze this quarter, have added 1 goal too. The Eagles, kicking against it, have kicked 6.
Dwayne Lamb preparing to come back on.
And McKenna pondering as to where he'll go. Eventually finds Scott breaking free. With just on 8.5 minutes remaining. And it may appear to be a long 8.5 minutes for Carlton, although Barrage is in a spot of bother. He is able to get out of it to Scott. Gleeson, a dive, no mark. Hart is quick to claim him and then bounce over the top, trying to push the ball wide, close to the boundary line. Ian Herman is there. Was pushed, said the umpire, and he will take it. Hart is off. And Dwayne Lamb coming back on as McKenna fists wide. Satori Madden a chance. Madden then decides to do the shepherding work. There's no one there, and the Eagles will steam this out of half-back. Malaxos can stop for a cup of tea if he'd like. He won't. He'll sweep it wide to Lamb, who's just come back out onto the ground a little too wide because Kernahan intercepts, but loses it to Lewis. Lewis to Ugle. Troy Ugle. Down in front of Turley, if he can keep it in play. He's got a tight angle. Very tight. And a fine effort. SUMICH pushed over the line by McKenzie and one behind the result. Carlton will be sore when the Eagles score. One fears that little artist is correct.
Very sore at the moment. As McKenzie kicks in, and according to my reckoning, as the ball goes behind the pack and is taken by Worsfold, this will be the 6th occasion in the last 2 seasons that all 3 interstate sides have won during the same round. Interesting, though, it's happened 2 of the last 3 rounds. The Bears, Sydney, And the Eagles finishing with a flourish this season. Down towards the pocket. This is Dennis. Out of bounds, was he? No. Kept it in. O'Connell, little cat and mouse, and gives it to McKenna, who runs across the goal face, then stops and decides to come back and hand pass to Bremen. Well, they're putting on a clinic at the present time. They'll come down in a wave now. This is their wave drill. As O'Connell's got it, he comes out towards centre wing, and Barrich. And one or two of the Carlton players are bound to get a little annoyed with this, I'd suggest, in the closing minutes of the game. Kernahan is one who charges at that ball. Well played. Got it down to Hawker, who hooks it back to half forward. Mainwaring with great courage going back into unexplored territory. Takes the mark, plays on. Little chip pass to Rance. Back to Mainwaring. Gets around the plastic bag and Herman. Runs to centre wing. Kicks towards half forward. SUMICH wasn't even looking at the ball, was held. It's a free kick and not a mark according to umpire ball. But it was close enough to a mark. It was interesting because he was looking straight ahead.
Yes, held on by the jumper. Rhys Jones, left hand around the stomach of SUMICH.
That was for David Rhys Jones on the mark. There will be other days, of course. 21-19 to 10-11. SUMICH. They'll contest about 5 metres out. Oh, strong mark. Kernahan flying over the pack.
Carlton fans would have liked to have seen more of that today, but Kernahan has been well held. Kicks towards half back. He was looking for Dorotic, who was edged out, and Worsfold is there to take the mark. Ugle has created space on the 50-metre line. Well, Alex Jesselenko has discovered this time round what a hammering is, as Ugle floats it high, but to the left and one behind. Fairly strong support of that man. 21-20, plays 10-11. McKenzie again, and again towards Kernahan. Can't quite take it. Rance almost did. Worsfold over the top, but straight to Matthews. Matthews now down towards half forward for Carlton. Their attacks have been few and far between, but Richard Dennis has the chance for Bradley, but right on his hammer is Turner. Nipping across was O'Connell. At the back also Madden. Hasn't got the pace. Bradley's got to try and do it on his own. Pressured all the way to the boundary line, and that tells the story. Craig Bradley flat on his back. That man needn't look concerned. They're home.
They have left the washing out. Well, the sky has cleared. Madden had a quiet day and gives away a free kick. O'Connell in the back pocket then. Inside the last 4 minutes of this game. So full credit to the Eagles. They have finished the season in a blaze of glory. O'Connell hugging the boundary line out his side. Kernahan. But he dropped the ball, and according to the umpire, Barrich. Down goes Mainwaring, and Mainwaring's getting the free kick. DeRuy cannoning into him. Mainwaring, a lot of possessions again today. 30, in fact, on cue. Been a marvellous player since the inception of this side. Miles, a rare blemish. McKenzie didn't expect it, so Miles gets a second chance. Barrich is over the ball, outnumbered 3-1. Nicely done by Bremen. Even the bounce favours the Eagles. Langdon, little chip pass out wide, and Rance has it on centre wing. They've made light of this breeze in the final term. They've worked up into it, and they've dominated. Rance, the high kick from behind Ugle, got very high. Kennedy couldn't control it. Ugle back again. Mainwaring, 31st possession, gives it away nicely to Bremen. Bremen time to get the kick towards centre half forward, and Scott at full stretch couldn't mark it. Here's a chance for Turley. Turley about 30 metres out. It's bending back, but not enough. And through it goes for a behind.
3 goals for to Craig Turley. Has been very productive today.
2.5 minutes remaining. McKenzie off the side of the boot. No one could get there. Mainwaring slipping and sliding. Langdon spinning out of trouble and doing it well to Jackson. Well, Lewis is on his own. Absolutely. Can he get round Alvin? Early elects to just centre it. Scott leaves it for Worsfold.
Well, that was terrific vision there by Chris Lewis. He attempted to, he's going to look for SUMICH short, then looked up further, and he had Scott and WORSFOLD free. And Scott did some bustling with Satori to allow WORSFOLD to come in and take another very strong mark. And what a day he's had. 28 possessions, 8 marks. And has worked very well today.
Looking for his first goal and should be rewarded almost directly in front. And just 25 metres out. John Worsfold's kick, disappointing, however. So another behind goes on the board, 21-22. 43 effective scoring shots to 21 tells the story. McKenzie again. Little hop as he kicks. SUMICH from behind. Turner almost pulled off the ball. He was able to bottle it up, however, and we will see another bounce. Well, there's a good crowd here this afternoon. They'll surely be delighted with what they've seen by the home side. Malaxos a chance to run it through. Some illegal holding on there going, however, against Troy Ugle in that path. We'll see Mick Kennedy take the free kick at half-back. Kennedy puts it into the space. Alvin will try and run through. Oh, tackle too high. Deemed by the umpire.
He's done a lot of running today, is Tom Alvin. He loves doing that. A very good runner. He's had a fine opponent, though, today, and Chris Lewis has been equal to the task. Been a fine duel between those two players.
50 metres. Sees him now down almost to the 50-metre line.
Chance to shoot a goal there, Sandy. He's only kicked 7 in total for his career, 3 this year.
So Tom Alvin. No one in the square. The distance not a problem. It sails over the top, and that also misses. One behind. 10-12. Plays 21-22. McKenna to Lewis. Chris Lewis has roamed far and wide today. He finds Langdon. Yes. Juggles it. Just on the defensive side of centre wing. Go to the wing now. Fisted down by McKenzie. Mainwaring couldn't take it, but he's very quick to try and make amends. Couldn't bring it out on this occasion. And so a bounce on centre wing. No need for it. It's all over. A great victory for the West Coast Eagles.
It's getting habit forming as far as the Eagles are concerned. And that Eagle in particular has done a bit of high flying in recent weeks. 21-22, 148 to 10-12, 72. And the crowd not happy with David Rees-Jones. But a very good victory to the Eagles. Simply too much run. They used the ball far better. They got off to a good start. And nothing much fell into place for Carlton or Alex Jesaulenko today.
They didn't really have a bad quarter, Dennis. 5 goals in the first with the breeze, 6 against it in the second, another 4 in the third, and finishing off into the breeze, they kicked 6 goals, 8. A tremendous performance, and restricted Carlton with the breeze in that final term to just 1 goal, 3.
And they look so good in doing it.
And now the kids have been informed that, yes, you can go onto the ground and get autographs from these players, and kids have come from everywhere, streaming onto the oval, and all Carlton can do is ponder the light plane trip back to Melbourne.
The Eagles' record then is 7-14. It'll be an interesting game next Saturday at Victoria Park, given the form of these Eagles. They're playing very well indeed, but they're home by 76 points this afternoon against Carlton.
Arthur's the middleman for some very rare, very expensive wine.
And there's plenty more where that came from. All they got to do is trample the grapes fast enough.
Even Terry's turned into a connoisseur.
It's a bit fruity for 75.
Yeah, but subtly fruity.
Actually full-bodied, though.
Almost sinewy.
But somewhere along the way, the deal turned sour.
phone me when you've got the money.
It becomes one big headache.
Oh! Cheers.
Minder, 9:30 Tuesday on 7.
Buy a new or quality used car from your Mitsubishi dealer now, and you'll go into the draw for $10,000 in gold bullion. Everything you touched could turn to gold. Plus, you'll get golden savings on Magna Sedan from just $16,990, or a golden factory bonus on Triton or Pajero EXE four-wheel drive. The $10,000 gold bullion bonanza and golden deals at your participating Mitsubishi dealer now.
Next on Hinch.
We grew up with Western heroes, John Wayne, Gary Cooper. Are we now on the threshold of a new era? The adult Western with stars like Angelica Houston.
There's love, and there's hate, and there's jealousy, and there's an untold amount of feeling that still exists from one century to the next.
Hollywood has turned Pulitzer Prize winner Lonesome Dove into a TV epic. Hinch cameras go behind the scenes for the return of the Western, next on Hinch.
Tonight on the magical world of Disney.
There's been an accident. It's your twin brother, Jason. He was a secret agent.
Family man Warren Starbinder is about to become a reluctant spy.
Security of the entire free world depends on our success.
Now this mild-mannered veterinarian is up to his neck in undercover trouble.
Oh, what a day I'm having.
The two-part premiere of Double Agent.
Something out of a James Bond movie.
The magical world of Disney. 6:30 tonight on 7.
A resounding victory for the West Coast Eagles, leading at every change. 28 points at quarter time, 35 points at half time, 41 at three-quarter time, and then Carlton had last use of the breeze. It mattered not as the Eagles increased their margin to 76 points at the finish. Checking the goal scorers for the Eagles, Miles got 5, 4 apiece to SUMICH and Jackson, 3 each to Turley and Lewis, and singles to Malaxis and Barrich. And for the Blues, Verbeek, who battled hard on the forward line, finished with 3, and the remainder were singles: Dennis, Gleeson, Satori, Herman, McKenzie and McKinnon. So the West Coast Eagles record now is 7-14, and certainly they'd be very...
Right after the club's greatest player